First started teaching, the only thing I knew to grade by was called the 100-point scale. It is ubiquitous in nature in that there is nothing else out there that I'm aware of until I started reading a book. I didn't even know I had another option. And then I learned something about standards-based grading. I didn't know that you could grade a different way. And I also didn't know that the 100-point grading scale was also probably doing a lot more harm than it was good. And I'll give you some examples of it. For years we've had students who take those tests, and we have a kid who scores 12 out of 20, and their grade is 60%. I can prove it's a 60% because I can divide 12 by 20, multiply by 100, and I get a 60%. There's no educational reason for that grade. It's just a mathematical percentage. That student walks away and they think they're a failure. And they're going to do this more than one time throughout the year, because I guarantee you've got that kid who it seems like every time he takes an assessment, he gets 12 out of 20. He just doesn't know enough to get a passing grade. So standards-based grading takes a little bit different approach. It assigns meaning to each grade that you give. So for example, the way that I implement standards-based grading, I give an assessment that has 9 questions on it. 3 are going to be at a level 1, 3 are going to be a level 2, and 3 are going to be a level 3. So I'm assessing the depth of knowledge that a student is at. So a student who answered those 12 level 1 questions on this test that he's taken from me, he answers all 3 of the level 1 questions. But instead of walking away with an F, the student walks away with a 75% C. And it's not because they got 75% of the questions right. The reason is that a C means the student can perform at a level 1 consistently. Well, that has meaning to it. What we're going to have is they're going to have to show me that they can think at a level of cognitive demand to be rewarded with making an A. Because making an A in my class is a student's consistent performing at the depth of knowledge level 3. All my grades are tied to learning, are tied to standards. This is my 3rd year doing standards-based grading, and I have watched students who typically make Fs all of a sudden make a D on my class because they answered something at a level 1. They make a D on a test, and I'll hear them talk to each other and think, hey, maybe I can pass. Maybe I can do this. I've heard them get excited. I've got a D on this because they're so used to making Fs. Now they're making a D, which means that they can answer something at some level. They're being rewarded for the quality of what they know. This kid who's excited about the D is a kid who's been making an F for several years, and I've given them hope and a chance to succeed. But not only that, I've also recognized that the child that I have sitting in front of me may not know the information well enough to perform any higher by, say, September 15th. But that child may need a little more time to cook in the oven. They may need a little more time to be ready to perform at a higher level. So I'm going to give that child the opportunity to take that assessment again at some point down the road when they feel that they understand better.